Paul Finebaum was on with Jon Ourand at the Sports Media Podcast, and Finebaum says the Pac10 future is bleak. He also said the ACC is stuck. They are in trouble. Welcome to episode 258 of College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to our ever-growing channel. Smash that like button if you like our content. Share the video with your family and friends. It's PATC Chalk Talk. Finebaum with Ourand. We're going to have a link in the description. You watch the whole podcast. It's great. It's outstanding. We're just going to go through the bullet points. Paul Finebaum talking about the Pac12 and the ACC primarily. Let's get right to it. Again, put down your comments and thoughts in the comments section below the video. Let me know what you agree with Paul Finebaum on, what you disagree. Let me know. I read all the comments. Number one, Finebaum with Jon Ourand at the Sports Media Podcast says if the Pac-10 is able to get a media deal done, it won't be a good one. He's not very optimistic about the Pac-10's future. Ourand says Apple TV becoming a major part of the Pac-10's media deal is not close if it happens at all. So what Jon Ourand is saying is, look, maybe Apple TV is a major distribution of Pac-10 content in their next media contract. But if they are to become the major distribution media partner, it's not close. We're not close to getting a deal done right now. That's what Jon Ourand has heard. Number three, again, Jon Ourand's informed speculation. That's how he called it. Informed speculation. Pac presidents will know the type of deal. They will know where the deal is going 1 month from now, and the deal will be announced around Labor Day. Holy smokes. Okay, so what Jon Ourand is basically telling you all, which we reported last week, over the weekend, that the Pac12 presidents, what they got on last Friday, that presentation was basically not a zilch, nothing. There was nothing there. There's not going to be any details to be leaked because there were no details for it to be leaked. The Pac-12 presidents did not get much in that presentation on Friday. They still don't know where the deal is going, who are going to be the linear partners, or how this linear concept thing is going to work out. They don't know much. Even today on July 5th, they don't know much of what this Pac-10 media deal is going to look like. So what Jon Ourand is saying, informed speculation, he believes that a month from now, maybe the end of July, early August, they will finally know how this structure of the deal is going to look like. And then it won't be announced until Labor Day because then they got to hash it out. Then they got to get the grant of rights signed. Wow. I'm going to have more thoughts on it after we go through all these bullet points. But this was the PATC money shot of this Ourand and Finebaum. Ourand's interview with Finebaum at the Sports Media Podcast. Number 4, the fourth bullet point coming out of this interview. Finebaum says the Pac-10's future is bleak. Those were his words in this interview released this morning. Although PATC has used the same verbiage, but I just want to let you know, these were Finebaum's exact words. The Pac-10's future is bleak. Colorado and Arizona to the Big 12 is viable. It's possible. Pac-10 has no shot at becoming the third most valuable conference among the Power 5 conference. Paul Finebaum states there's a race to be the third most valuable conference among the ACC, Pac, and the Big 12. And Finebaum says that Pac-10, they have no more shots. So why are these schools hanging around? The schools that have the option to move to the Big 12, Paul Finebaum is basically asking, why are they hanging around still today? Number 5, Jon Ourand. Why should Big Ten be interested in expanding with Washington and Oregon sometime in the future? Paul Finebaum. Oregon and Washington have big brands, big value brands, which are attractive to watch. Big brands have become more important than big markets. Now, Paul Finebaum in this interview doesn't say Oregon and Washington, the Big Ten is going to happen anytime soon. But what he's inferring and what we have said at Peek Around the Corner, it is going to happen sometime in the future. And Jon Ourand basically said, look, why the interest? Why they should go out to the Pacific Northwest and grab Washington and Oregon. Paul Finebaum says basically it's a grab. Basically, he called it hungry expansion. And he talked about the big brands of Oregon and Washington. And both Ourand and Finebaum talked about how the addition of Washington and Oregon could help like a network like NBC fill up that slot, because sometimes during this media contract for the next 6 years, NBC might have only the fourth selection weekly for a primetime game, and an addition of Washington and Oregon would help the value of NBC's programming, not to mention CBS and Fox Sports in the 6th year of the Big Ten contract. Again, Finebaum doesn't say when is it going to happen. He still believes it is going to happen, Oregon and Washington to the Big Ten. Finebaum, negative on ACC's future. Current media deal, which lasts until 2035-36, and the two reasons why he's negative on ACC's future. Number one, the current media deal, and number two, North Carolina, Virginia, Clemson, Florida State, Miami will have suitors. Finebaum is just basically laying it out there, kind of like what Kirk Herbstreit did a week ago. ACC's in a bad spot, negative on their future. The media deal is not a good one. It lasts way too long. And somehow those schools are going to try to get out of that grant of rights. Paul Finebaum doesn't go into that in this interview, but he says that it's a very negative on ACC's future. Finebaum, as of today, July 5th, 2023, would rank the Big 12 ahead of the ACC, has the third most valuable brand among the Power 5. Your Mark has done a great job in a short time. And this, Finebaum saying this, shocks Paul Finebaum. He can't believe he's saying this because he thought the Big 12 was in a lot of trouble just a year ago when they lost Oklahoma and Texas. But he gives the reasons why. Listen to the whole podcast. But now he believes the Big 12 is ahead of the ACC and has a much brighter future ahead. Again, Finebaum, ACC is stuck, can't expand. ACC stayed too long with basketball as being their focus. They're being their prime focus. And then finally, ACC would be making a big mistake if they went to unequal revenue sharing. He doesn't believe Florida State and Clemson getting more money just because they're bigger brands is going to solve anything in the ACC. Again, Finebaum is negative on the ACC. ACC is stuck. Again, Finebaum says the Pac12, Pac10 future is bleak, very bleak. Now, here at Peek Around the Corner, we've been calling this the Pac12 saga, right? The Pac12 saga, going on weeks and weeks and months, and now we're a year into this saga. But today, I think on July 5th, this is no longer the Pac12 saga. Well, it is. It continues to be the Pac12 saga. But there is another storyline playing out here. The focus has to be on Chancellor DeStefano, Colorado's chancellor. The focus has to be on Arizona President Bobby Robbins. Robbins, DeStefano, the focus, the saga is now, they are now the story. Because what are they waiting for? They know the numbers of the Big 12. They know what they're going to get. They still don't know what they're going to get from the Pac-12. And as Paul Finebaum says, if they are able to get a media deal, it's not going to be a good one. It's not going to be as good as the Big 12. In the future, the Pac-12 is bleak because of other reasons. Washington and Oregon are not going to be sticking around for very much longer. That's what Paul Paul Finebaum is telling everybody. That's what Kirk Herbstreit is telling everybody. You can go down the road and continue to believe there's no issues in the Pac-12. It's just a messaging problem. There's no issues in the Pac-12. It's just an endeavor plot. There's no issues in the Pac-12. It's just the Big 12 media and the reporters getting paid off. You can go down that road and continue to believe that, or you can believe in reality. The Pac-12 moved too slow on their media deal, and the networks do not want a one-region Pacific Coast Conference any longer. They've been saying no for months to George Kliavkoff. So it's not just about George Kliavkoff anymore. We know what we're getting from George Kliavkoff. He's going to cobble a deal together. It's not going to be as good as the Big 12. It's not even going to be as good as the ACC's contract. No way, no how. It's going to be shorter, but not as valuable. We know what we're getting from that. Now it's Colorado's chancellor and the Arizona president. The ball is in your court. Now you, as July 5th, PATC considers you the story. Colorado's chancellor and Arizona president. You are now the story here at Peek Around the Corner. Hang with us, stay with us here as we continue to cover this saga and everything else that's going on in the college football landscape. Until next time, from all of us at PATC, to all of you, please, you all take great care of each other. Thank you so very much.